Ooh, an awesome looking old animated movie, okay. What do you mean it's a game? Let's discover an old arcade game today. Dragon's Lair!
This game was brought to us during the height of the arcade era in 1983 by the animation legend Don Bluth. Even if you don't know his name, you've probably seen his work. An American Tail, The Secret of NIMH, The Land Before Time, it's just a few of his works that you either saw or you need to go watch. But then, what's such an old game like this doing in the month of togetherness? Well, for me, this is the most together of games that my family has.
This game was ported to the Wii as part of the Dragon's Lair trilogy, where it was then found by my dad, who bought it for the entire family, because he remembered it from when he was a kid and would see it in the arcades. Only see it because he wasn't that rich weirdo that had the amount of money to blow on it, but he remembered it and knew we'd have fun with it.
Now, at first glance, this game is really simple. It's just a glorified game of follow the leader. The game flashes up a directional arrow, you press the arrow quickly, you survive. But you'll discover very quickly that the game is harder than that. Like most old arcade games, this game's difficulty is punishingly hard. Did you press a button too quickly? Dead. Did you press it a moment too late? Dead. Did you freak out and hesitate? Also dead. And that's the best part of this game. Playing the game itself is frustrating, and more often than not the player will be left staring at the screen confronted with a "But I pressed the button!" The most fun to be had is actually in watching the game. The animation is beautiful, and the situations and facial expressions are hilarious. The numerous ways that our hero Dirk can die they're wonderful, for lack of a better term. So at my house, Dragon's Lair is a spectator sport. We play on the arcade mode so that when you die, you're sent to a random level. Each level must be beaten before the game is over, and if you die, you hand the controller off to the next player in line. There's an added pressure if you're the one with the controller to keep going. How many rooms can you clear? And you want to be the one that finally beats the game just for those bragging rights. Even when you lose, the fun doesn't stop though, because now you're one of the onlookers, simultaneously cheering for and against the current player. You want to see on in the game, you want to see what room comes next, you want to see all these interesting active situations, but at the same time, you didn't do well, why should they? And you want to see the room that took you out ruin their day too, and it's fun to see Dirk die. It almost turns this game into one of the greatest party games. Short and simple enough that anyone can pick it up and play it. Crazy and action-packed enough to get invested into quickly, and so difficult that the controller will get passed around a lot as everyone gets their turn. But since you hand it off after a death, you won't get stuck in the same place over and over, getting frustrated like when you're playing on your own. That is until the end of the game. While the game is great in its own right, the ending's a bit difficult to swallow. The rooms are no longer randomized, so you'll have to start this level over and over until you either win or give up, or get a game over, but we're pansies and gave ourselves infinite lives. So every time you begin again, you'll have to listen to Daphne say the same couple of lines. I know she's going for alluring and the character is well animated, but...
Please save me! The cage is locked with a key. The dragon keeps it around his neck. To slay the dragon, use the magic sword.
She just comes off as ditzy and really annoying. And what's with that crack in her voice? I know this game was expected to be played by teenagers, but did they literally hire a teenage girl? Well, no, apparently that's Vera Lanfer, who was the animation assistant on Secret of NIMH the year before this game was released, so clearly it's not some teenage girl. I can only hope her voice has settled down since then. But finally, one player manages to finish the level, defeat the dragon, and free the princess from her bubble. What to do then? Well, you move on to the sequel, of course.
But we'll have to discover that another day. This game is incredibly fun to experience even on your own and you want a challenge. But if you ever get a copy of it in any format, pick it up with a group of friends and turn it into a group game. The experience will be that much more enjoyable.
Hopefully you all enjoyed this month of togetherness. Sorry that this final episode was so short. I didn't realize until after I was writing the script that there's not a lot you can say about this game, but it really is a gorgeous game. So I'll see you all next week as we move back into our normal style of reviews, and remember, life is always another game waiting to be discovered.